DJ, would you like to do the honors?
I would like to do the honors, sir. We have a very special guest today, one that I'm very excited to introduce to you. But that's all, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today is...
Welcome back to the podcast. It is episode number 30. Can you believe we've made it to 30 episodes?
No, I can't.
It is crazy. 30 episodes. I'm your host, the Frankster. This is my good buddy,
the Arrow, DJ Hart.
And we're not alone. 30th episode, you gotta have a guest. DJ, would you like to do the honors?
I would like to do the honors, sir. We have a very special guest today, one that I'm very excited to introduce to you. But that's all, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today is the master of the grind, the master of time. Hide your daughters and lock up your wives.
It's grind time. Yes, it is, and I am he, and welcome back, Transformers Earthwars fans, for another stream.
Well, it's not really stream. This is pre-recorded.
Damn it! I'm gonna do it again. Hold on. Take two.
That's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, it is grind time with us for the first time on the podcast. Please welcome the one and only. We're super thrilled to have him here today.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, man. So, all right. So what we do, if you haven't watched the show before, is we're just gonna cut some jokes, recap last weekend's event, go into the news. We read comments from our comment section of the previous episode, and then we go into a topic of the day. And the topic that we've chosen is the evolution of our 5-star badges in the game and how we feel about them so far, with emphasis on, do we like that new bots are getting 5 stars out the gate?
Okay.
So
sounds good.
All right.
This is DJ's topic. It was his week to pick, so he doesn't like that the new 5 stars are in the batches. So.
I'm not a fan. There's so many more bots that haven't been made 5 stars yet. But we'll get into that later on. But for now, let's go ahead and give it back to the Frankster and do like you always do.
Yes, well, it is time to get started on the weekly recap, so I'll throw it to grind time. How was the past week for you on the game? How was the event? Did you enjoy it? Have a good time?
Let's see. Last weekend's event, I gotta really rack my brain. It's been a crazy week for me.
It was the 1,000,000 point Alliance one.
It was good. My main account and TF Psyops, we knocked it out in the final couple hours or whatever. In my alt account, Cadamus Prime on TF Alpha Ops, I don't know that I don't think we finished it. I think there's a lot of guys that are busy with summer stuff and vacationing and family time and all kinds of stuff, and I think burnout is becoming a big topic of conversation in Discord, and
trying to dig rose gardens for their wives.
Yeah, honeydews. The honeydew list is growing.
Yeah.
So, I think a lot of guys just had some real life stuff to deal with, and real life always comes first. Got to do what you got to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, our alliance wasn't able to. We get where we normally get about 700,000. We've been sticking right around that lately.
Yeah.
Like me and DJ both hit over 25K, didn't we?
Yeah,
that's what we would need for everybody to get to complete it.
Yeah, I mean we can both hit 30 plus free to play, but as long as you've got a team of 40 that can hit 25 each, we should be hitting them. Problem is we don't. Yeah. So we're lucky to have 35 people on the reg.
We both got 5-star combats this week.
Oh yeah,
nice.
I got Shatterglass Steeljaw,
and I got Roadburner, whom I know Waz is not a fan of, but I was happy to have him.
I've got 5-star Roadburner. I've had him for a while. He's still at level 1. I don't even know what he does.
Well,
I got him. I was like, "Who is this?"
Well, I like him, and I like Red Heat, and I like Steeljaw because they have gunner's range, and I have a squad that I use for event grinding that's made up of 5 gunners and a couple of tanks. Well,
Yeah.
I give those tanks each Red Heat or Roadburner or one of those minions that has a gunner range, because that just adds another gunner on the field, and it's just mass damage. So I like the concept.
I pulled a 5-star Rat Trap this weekend on my main account.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
That's
I
what
love
got.
Rat Trap.
He went right. I replaced the 4-star on my 5-star Laser Optimus.
There you go.
So,
I have Rat Trap. I have him on my 5-star Cheetor. I've only got the 3-star, but comes in handy when you run into those EMPs.
oh yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah, I'm on an unprecedented streak of every time I've cracked the 5-star, like the past 4 or 5 times, I've gotten the one bot out of that bundle I wanted.
Oh wow.
excuse me.
I
Where's
don't know
the
how that keeps happening.
Where's
have you
the-
bought your lottery tickets yet? Or
where's
I
the
have not. No, it's like Sea Spray and then several of the combat bots, and I just keep doing it. And then, because I wanted Shatterglass Jetfire from the newest bundle when it hit, and sure enough, first try I got him.
yeah?
Nice.
So I'm trying
It's gonna end at some point, and it's gonna suck because I'll get something terrible when it does. I know
yeah yeah. Hang on, I'm trying to find the button where I can shut him up. Bragging
it.
about his
It drives
perfect.
him crazy because I keep doing it every time, and he hasn't done it in like forever.
Yeah, I pulled every single bot out of batch 10, and all I wanted was pipes and Skylinks, and I had to go through the whole list before I finally got to pipes at the very end. Pipes
Batch
and
10
Skylinks were
doesn't-
the last 2, and
Batch 10 is Pipe, Skylinks, and who else?
Pipe, Skylinks / Brainstorm and Red Alert.
Okay. Yeah,
So I mean, Pipes and Skylinks are A and B squad bots for me. I made Slash and Red Alert and Brainstorm work in just basically a squad of nothing but the 5-stars that I don't know what else to do with.
Mhm.
But they hit zone 13 with a combiner, so they do what I need them to do.
Slash can be really good for farming if you put Megatronus on her.
Oh,
You
yeah.
just kind of clear out
Yeah.
stuff with a combiner or your Titan or whatever first, and then you just send her up and get her up to the. Waza's loving using her, and you really got to practice with the pathing because she likes to do her own thing sometimes.
Yeah, but especially now that she has a level 11 ability that doubles the critical hit chances.
Yeah,
I know he was super excited about that. I was
Yeah.
too. So
yeah, she is fun to play with, but she's pretty situational.
yeah. So I have her. I like to pair her with Cheetor, especially when I'm event grinding or if I'm power leveling. Those two make for a pretty unstoppable team as long as you're not zone 14 or higher. And both mine are 5-stars. So
Yeah.
But alrighty. All right.
Well, I think that's good for the recap. So, DJ, I'm gonna throw it to you to do what it is that you do.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. I will do what it is I do. And what I do is the news. All right, everybody, here we are in the news, and our upcoming weekend event is called Delivering the Message. So delivering the message will be an individual totalizer. It will be Super XP, as has been the norm. 10,000 points to complete it. Nice, easy, laid-back event. You can finish it in one day, or you can finish it in a day and a half. But a really good event to have coming off of a 1,000,000-pointer that I couldn't finish. Battle zones are normal, and here's a breakdown of the prizes we get. It'll be a prestiged event, it would seem. So we're going to get total shard crystals, prime shards, alloy and energon, some spark, pretty good stuff. Alrighty. We've got the July survey was out, and it looks like they've selected the winner of the 5-star shards, and that would be these fellas right here. So if that's one of you, congratulations. All right, introducing some information about the name changes, so you can change your name in-game. You can pause this to read through that if you like. And then they have new policies in place that you're going to want to be aware of. So again, you can pause this now, read through that if you like. And then we get down here, emphasis on non-VIP rewards. So again, you can pause this and read through that. There's a lot to go over. And then we'll get down here to war rewards. That's going to be revamped a little bit, it would seem. So again, pause this, read through that if you like. A lot of information there. So introducing the leagues here, so you can see those right here. And then it says, what's now? There's still much work to be done when it comes to this game. And truer words have never been spoken. Alrighty, so go through here. We're getting to the Titan catch-up bundle. So if you are struggling to get your Titan leveled up, if you've just been dealing with real-life issues and you haven't been able to get in there and grind it out as much as some folks, there is a catch-up bundle available, so be looking for that in-game. Help you get where everybody else is. All right, and then they always like to pitch their content creators. So we've got videos here from... And I really hate the small print. I'm really trying to see. So, okay, we got Soldier. So Soldier has video on Twin Twist, trying them out. So check that out. See if you like the idea of Twin Twist, and then or Colagon. That really sounds like cancer screening. And then of course we get into the community corner, and we have artwork from our community, and that. I can't quite tell who that is, but that's pretty sick. That looks really, really good.
Dead End.
Is that Dead End?
Yeah.
I like the Tommy gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. I really like that.
Yeah,
that's
he would
really good.
fit in very well with the mob. I like that.
Yeah, he has Dead End on the license plate on the top of by the knees.
Oh, it does. Yeah, like
Oh.
Dead End. Okay, I like that. Alrighty.
Cool.
And then we have,
Motormaster.
Is that who that is? Because I knew it looked like Minosaur, but it was missing the horns. So, alrighty, that looks pretty good. And then what is this?
That's really good.
That is cool. Who did that? Wow.
Whoever did that, you should be doing comic book covers.
Yeah, dude. Come on. Apply to IDW and DC and Marvel. Get yourself a job, man. That looks amazing. So, all right, here we are on the Saga schedule. We are in week 4 of 5, the individual totalizer. Next week is the Alliance totalizer with the new bots, 5-star, and it will be a new kind of event to try to help us improve our quality of life in lieu of the leaderboards, because they were getting outrageous. But we'll discuss our thoughts on that on next week's episode of the Botcast. I have opinions. So, and then right through here, a ton of bug fixes. Feel free to take a look at that, read through it, and yeah, that's about it. So that was a lot of news. We tried to get through it, but thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and this has been the news.
All right, well, that was a whole lot of news, and not that much about things you would really want to talk about, just kind of, random fixes, name changes, things of that nature. So let's just go ahead and head into the mailbag. So DJ, it's back to you for that one.
Back to me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in the mailbag, and our first comment comes from Matt Pauly, and it's a long one. Starscream was badly trying to rebel against the baddies, almost like a spoiled kid in the class acting out, haha. Oh, he's talking about Armada Starscream. He said, if I had to pick the mountain faces, I don't think I would get mix-up generations. Too many good ones within each storyline. Bot picks would be Optimus, Ultra Magnus, B, and Ironhide. That, you know what? I almost picked Ultra Magnus too. I think he's a good pick for the mountain as well. And then con picks would be Megatron, Soundwave, Shockwave, and Starscream. All great picks for
that's good.
Yeah, for a Mount Rushmore of the Decepticons.
Yeah.
And then said would be kind of cool to see it made as the Dinobots though. Yeah, so just nothing but well that would be like at this point that'd be like 7 or 8 faces with paddles right there in the middle. So,
oh my God, paddles.
No, paddles is underneath him holding them all up.
That would be awesome.
Still waiting for paddles in the game, Space Ape. Still waiting. So, our next comment comes from Bossman6774. The events for the last few months have been great. The variety of prize offerings has been much better. Love the alternation of 5-star shards and 5-star combat shards every other saga. And he's right. I like it too. It makes 5-star combat chips was really hard to get because you would get like a bunch of 2-star dupes and get 2 shards per dupe, and you only get 7 dupes per week. So this is making it a lot easier for us to get those 5-star combat bots, especially because there's so many of them in the game now. All right. Yeah. Next comment comes from Volcanica69. How did y'all like this weekend's event? I liked the Combiner Crystals, but didn't get anything other than 2-star dupes mainly. Not my main account. I did get 4-star Broadside and 4-star Shieldtron and 3-star Roadburner. I do feel like Space Ape can do better with weekend event. They should reward players a little more than what they do.
Well, they've been doing better with the events,
I feel like
lately. They've been getting way more rewards, I feel like, than what we used to get.
Right, and it's not been any kind of, useless, oh my god, why are they putting this in here rewards like Battle Boosts and Crimzeek. It's been Shards, Spark, Alloy and Energon for people who don't do a lot of PvP grinding. It's been good stuff. It's been stuff that, because, this game is a grind. There's a lot of stuff that people are trying to get to. I have such a backlog of bots that need to be upgraded. It's ridiculous. So all this stuff that we're getting is just doing nothing but helping, and it's way better than it was, 4 years ago when I started playing the game. So
that's actually the big drawback to me about the dispatch missions is whenever I Zen farm, what I would typically do is take 4 of my 5 stars that I know I can solo with, and then I'd add 4 3-stars that need leveled, and on each base I would drop 1 5-star and 1 3-star. Take out that base, and that way the 3-star is getting leveled up. The 5-star is already maxed. But now I've got so many bots already maxed out or waiting for upgrade because of the dispatch missions. I don't even bother doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Like when I Zen farm, it's just 1 bot now. I don't even bother worrying about leveling up other bots.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I was super excited for the dispatch missions, but once they came into practice, I wasn't impressed with the rewards, and that's just because it almost calls for your top-notch bots, and when you use them and they're gone for 3 days at a time, and then when you get the rewards, it's not the equivalent reward that you would expect for the bot that you gave in, so I would have preferred it if they had it set up similarly to where you have zone 1 through zone 15, just like we do when we go into PvP, except for these zones are geared towards the dispatch, and then you select your squad based on that and then send them out. If they're gone for 3 days, they're gone for 3 days, but you get equivalent rewards to zone 13 or 14 or 15 or whatever you selected. For Zen, for Alloy and Energon, stuff like that. That's how I would have done it. To me, that's what makes sense. But they also don't pay me for my opinion, so.
I just use it to level up my Decepticons at this point. Like, the bots I never use, just level them up with the dispatch missions.
Yeah. So, alrighty. Our next comment comes from the voice of Derek. I think this is his first time commenting with us. I like his name. All right. I got 1,005 stars as well as from the event, about 730 short from the next pool, looking at the 5-star Springer. Okay, well, hey, good luck to you, man. Comment in the next episode of the Botcast if you were able to pull it between now and then, and let us know what you got. Crossing our fingers for Springer.
I remember when you got Springer and, raged out because you didn't want Springer.
I didn't rage out. I was just severely disappointed.
Why?
No, it was nothing compared to how I reacted when I got Brainstorm. had to put a few bleeps and bloops in that one. So, and here's the thing: I know Brainstorm is a great bot. I know he's super useful if he's used the right way. I know he's amazing. It's just not my style, and I was just like, oh my god, now I got to use this. So I put him on 5-star batch and didn't fool with him after that, But for those who do like Brainstorm, kudos to you. I hate when I see him attacking my base, so I know what he's about to do. So, all right. Our next comment comes from Lord Avix. I bet Beast Wars Inferno. I love Beast Wars Inferno when he calls Beast Wars Megatron my queen. I laugh every time. Yes, yes, yes. And then Megatron's over there. Please stop calling me that. So. And then Lord Avix once again, number 1. Oh, this would be his Mount Rushmore for his Decepticons with Megatron, Soundwave, Galvatron, and Starscream. Also, all good picks. Very, very good picks. And then Lord Avix for the last time, Chips and Pop for breakfast of Champions DJ. Yes. Yes, I don't. I've already had my chips. I'm done for the day. But I got the pop. So forget your cornflakes. I'll eat Doritos and Pepsi any time of the week. So, so alrighty. And our last comment comes from William Edward Hackman. The Autobot Mount Rushmore versus the Decepticon Mount Rushmore would be great. Yes, it would, depending on who was on each side. You see two mountains facing off?
Yeah, slow fight.
It would be a very slow fight. And
Lots of collateral damage as the rocks fall off.
Yeah, let's just hope it's not the tourist season. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for commenting, ladies and gentlemen. Please keep them coming every episode. We want to see your comments. We want to read them off on episodes. We want to acknowledge the people that are, letting us know their thoughts. We appreciate you. This, ladies and gentlemen, has been the mailbag segment.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody that sent in those comments. We appreciate it. Keep them coming. We try to get everybody's comment read. Lately, haven't been too much of an issue, about 8 to 10 an episode. So, but yeah, we appreciate your support, and we love all you. So, yeah. All right. Now for the main topic, we're going to talk about 5-star batches and how they have evolved and changed throughout the course of the game. And I will go ahead and bring up the batches here. So, DJ, this was your topic, so why don't you lead us off?
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and take a look at batch 1, our very first 5 stars from 6 years ago. So this batch was Grimlock, Silverbolt, Nah, Hot Rod, and Sunstreaker. This was a good, even mix. You had more or less a tank bot in the form of Grimlock, even though he does die fairly quickly. We had an aerial bot, we had a special bot, we had 2 special bots in the way of Nah and Hot Rod, but both of them operated very differently from one another. And then we had our gunner in the way of Sunstreaker. So this batch was a nice even mix of different kinds of bots, different abilities, very dissimilar from one another. But these weren't like the most sought after bots in the game at the time either. So it made them more unique in that even though they weren't like, bots like game-breaking bots like Star Saber and Elite 1 and things of that nature, they were still bots that were useful, and because they were 5 stars, people were all about them. So this was a good first batch in my opinion.
It's not bad. I like this batch. I mean, Grimlock's never been the best.
Well, that's because if he were Grimlock accurate, then it would probably break the game. He'd be unstoppable. You'd never be able to kill him. He'd take everything out in one hit. I would like for him to have more health than he does, but
I don't want him to be OP'd, but I want him to be useful because he dies so fast.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what. Yeah, that's what the running joke is, that he just has a passive glass gas effect on himself. So.
Yeah, and keep in mind when they started these 5-star batches, they were only available for a limited time, and then the batch was gone.
Yeah, and then
when the next batch came out. So I remember stressing after batch 2 because I really wanted to get Prime, of course.
Yeah,
and I couldn't collect the 5-star shards quick enough, and then he was gone, and I was like, crap, I'm never gonna have 5-star Prime in this game.
Yeah. And then it was what, 3 or 4 batches in, they started doing the legacy bundles.
They started doing legacy. Yeah, I don't remember exactly when, but yeah, they eventually started bringing out the legacy ones, and that was awesome for me because especially back at the beginning, I just wasn't able to collect those 5-star shards fast enough, and I was afraid I was going to miss out on all those 5 stars.
Yeah. That was a very stressful grind. I remember thinking I'm never going to get a 5-star anyway because it was a couple years into the game and I didn't even have 1,000 yet. So
I definitely think the second batch was a step up though, because Prime, Windblade, and Wheeljack alone were just all breed.
Skyburst, her just regular DPS took gunners to a whole nother level with her spread damage.
There was a while she was the one, not even technically a gunner, but she was the gunner everybody wanted. For quite a while, especially when the Prime cores came out and people were putting Prima on her.
I still keep Prima on mine. I have Prima on her 5-star, and then for her for the 4-star, I just keep an attack core on her because I could put other cores on her that would probably be a little bit more useful, but I've got them in other places. So I don't know anybody who really uses her actual G1 core though.
She has a G1 core? I've never even got one.
Yeah, she has one, but it's not.
I don't even remember what it is.
I don't remember.
I've
either.
never had one to look.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I think it does. I think it's very similar to the volatile mixture. It increases her ability damage, but because her ability does spread damage in a line, it doesn't really do what you really need it to do. So most people just focus on enhancing her DPS.
Yeah.
So
I think Drift's the only real dud in this one to me, just because he's just very mediocre and he jumps into danger constantly.
He does, and his health, he's very similar to Grimlock. He's basically this batch's Grimlock. He doesn't have a ton of health. He jumps into battle. He dies very quickly. His ability can be very useful if you do it right and time it right.
His G1 core makes him a lot better, but he's still not one you particularly like. Usually he's on my war team, but he's the bot I don't deploy, so that way when everybody else dies, the Titan can finish the base.
Yeah.
That's like literally what I use him for.
He's a good bot to have in like a Zone 12, Zone 13 event grinding squad, but I would never take him into war.
No.
Not that I'm a fan of war. I mean,
you have to waste ability points to keep him alive, so it's like
you might not necessarily want to go for that target at that moment. You're just like, I'd rather let him die, you know?
Yeah.
So
the only thing I ever use him for is Zen farming.
Yeah, that's a lot of bots now. So many.
Yeah, he's actually good for that because you can launch somebody like Magnaboss, clear out all the defenses, and just use his ability to go straight to the HQ and just take it out with him.
Yeah. But overall, I think this batch, it was a good successor to batch 1, especially because you got Optimus Prime, which is the one that everybody wanted. You have a healer, you've got Skyburst. Drift was probably the low point of the bundle. And then you got Windblade, who I'm still big on Windblade because being able to take her from spot to spot, just taking out 3 or 4 key defenses before you've even gotten started, that's big for me. So I really like Windblade. I like this batch.
Yeah, I love Windblade. My only thing is the stronger you get, the less useful she becomes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. That's why I haven't went back to this bundle, because it's like, as much as I like Windblade, I'm at the point in the game where she just dies too fast on me now.
Yeah, she does. She's on my A squad. She still serves me well, but she is one of the first ones to die. So, but again, all my squads are event grinding. I will use mine in my grinding squads in wars, but that's because I've never been bothered to create a war-specific team, and I'd have to level bots that I don't really use that aren't my style. So, batch 3, we had Ultra Magnus, Jazz, Springer, Firefly, and Cheetor. Now, the prize to be had was Cheetor, because this dude will just eat a base.
Not when it came out, though. That was before his buff. Everybody was rioting about him being in that batch.
Oh, yeah.
Before it came out.
Yeah. But nowadays, he's the one you want. And I was disappointed when I got him because I was gunning for Firefly because I'm an aerial bot guy. I love air shows. I mean, I still do them. I know they're out of the meta, but that's the thing. Most people aren't defending against that anymore because it's been out of the meta for so long. So I still get away with it.
So, Grind Time, since I wasn't there, who was the bot to be had out of this when this bundle came out?
Now, my memory is not the best, but as I recall, Autobot Jazz was the one because of his orbital. The orbital strike was still so good back then.
Yeah.
I think it was Jazz that everybody was wanting. And you got to remember, this is before Ability 11s and G1 cores and all that kind of stuff. So I think the Prime cores had come out maybe by now, but that was probably where we were at with the game. Or maybe they weren't even out when this batch came out. I
don't think the Prime cores are. I think we were starting to get Power cores. I think we weren't too far from that. But Prime cores, I don't think we had yet.
But I do believe it was Jazz's orbital strike that had everybody drooling at the time.
Yeah.
Because I know Magnus's ability isn't too great.
It's not fantastic, no. I mean, if you're like Zone 13 and you've got it halfway leveled, I mean, it'll one-shot a defense, but the range isn't good, and
and it doesn't hit the target you aim for completely, like it spreads, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, the majority of the damage goes on what you're aiming at, but a lot of it does get spread out, and you don't really need or want that. So I think the argument's been made. Why not just give him Galvatron's ability? And I don't see why they couldn't do that, because just make it look different. You know, make it look like he's shooting off a rocket, but have the same damage.
Right.
You know? I mean, but that would be a lot of, and I don't do coding, so I don't know what kind of challenges are involved with that. So, you know, I give him slack because I know there's more to it, but at the same time, it would make the game better.
It would make him better for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, Jazz, at the time, he was the one to be had. Everybody liked, and at the time, air shows were still very, very relevant. So I think Firefly would have been one that people wanted too.
I still want Firefly.
Springer, I don't know if people would really have wanted him or not, because even though he was the first triple changer, and that's a big deal, his ability was not fantastic.
The height of, I think when people wanted him was when everyone was backdooring everything with the Cup and Friends and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Springer was the bot you wanted to send.
Yeah,
because of his range, and then he could heal Cup when he got back there. That was the bot you wanted for that.
And then you've got twice the DPS pounding on the base. So, yeah. And then, but now that Cheetor's been buffed and he's useful all the way up into Zone 14 for low level players, especially. I mean, that's, to me, I think that's the prize to be had right there. Now it is.
Still the only one that would be worth. I mean, Jazz isn't bad, and depending on it all depends on your play style, your play level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Jazz. It's just you got to really be mindful of when you use his ability because of that cost.
Yeah, and not only that, but if you land on a base where the defenses aren't clumped, I mean,
it's
really expensive to take out one defense. So.
Yeah, it's a pain. All right, well, let's take a look at Batch 4. All right, so we had Elita 1. Oh, yeah. Elita 1, Blaster, Sludge, Prowl, and Ratchet.
Yeah, this is a batch right here. They really knocked it out of the ballpark when they did this one.
Yeah, so for high-level war players, this was a very important batch because of Ratchet. And once you get to a certain level, you got to use healers. So now we had the potential for 2 5-star healers on your war squad, Wheeljack and Ratchet. So that was important, I know. Prowl, I like Prowl's gunner a lot. I don't really know how the rest of the community feels about him at large, but I like him and I like his ability. Sludge, I know Frankie loves Sludge. I mean, honeycomb bases aren't really, you don't see them that often anymore, so to me, Sludge has lost his usefulness. He's just tanky. I have come to love Blaster. Me and Frankie both have an entire squad dedicated to nothing but bots that have minions and hollows. It's mass chaos. It's awesome. They punch way above their weight class, and Blaster is just a great bot to have on that.
Oh, Blaster's amazing. I feel like he's probably the cream of the crop of this bundle.
Yeah, but then the one that everybody was excited about, though, Elita 1, when this batch came out.
Oh, I would still be excited for Elita, but, you know, her ability, the cost, and it puts her in danger. So if you're high level, she's going to die.
Right. It won't do that mass destruction that it can in lower levels, depending on how far you've leveled that bot.
Yeah. So she's good for power leveling other bots, though, once you get her leveled up. So, I mean, she's still one you would want.
It's what I use her for.
In Prime League, I still see Elita some for sacks. Some people will use her for sacking. Blaster's a staple.
Yeah.
Sludge is still used. They have what they call slush attacks, where you use sludge to take out a certain wall or section of wall. Then you use prime to go around through that wall that you couldn't get your bots to go through before. It's not a technique I've personally practiced, but I've seen it done quite a bit. Prowl with his G1 core, he's become a better gunner. He's still not the best, and you only see him every once in a while. And then, of course, Ratchet is another staple on a lot of people's. Well, not so much now that Minerva's out, but before Minerva, it was usually Ratchet and Wheeljack were the two.
Yeah. I love Ratchet's ability. I like Wheeljack's a little better, though, because especially with the Billy 11, because then he heals and increases their speed. So,
well, when you pair him with Minerva, you can use the tower to heal and then Wheeljack to speed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of
Holy
eliminated
cow.
Ratchet from at least from my lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think at the time that was probably the most coveted 5-star batch they had released, just because of a second 5-star healer, Elita 1 being in that batch.
Yeah,
At
they
the time,
nailed it with 4. They really did.
yeah. And then we have batch 5 with Snarl, Rodimus Prime, Warpath, Perceptor, and RC. And I think everybody was gunning for Warpath when this came out because he had not been in the game for too awful long, and the destruction he was capable of wreaking at the time was just unheard of.
Yeah.
So
The thing I remember most about this batch was I believe Slash had come out and was still pretty new, but had been out for a minute. And when they did the poll, like everyone was voting for Slash. Everybody wanted Slash because back at that time we didn't have the mine cores and stuff like that. I don't think.
right.
And everyone really wanted her. And then they said Snarl won the vote, and we were like, "What?
Huh?
Voting for Snarl? Like, nobody voted for Snarl.
They were like,
Nobody liked him. Nobody used him. Like, what in the world?"
yeah, I
That's one of
still
those
don't.
Everyone voted kind of situations. That
was the first time I called BS on him. I'm like, no.
I have personally never used Snarl except for in Zen farming.
They just picked another Dinobot that started with S.
Yeah.
Some people are really big on them. You can put Amalgamus on them. Of course, Amalgamus is good on so many bots. I think, people use that on him, and he's a powerful bot. He's just not somebody that I would want to rely on.
Yeah. Especially because in order to get that, his special ability is good. I do like it, but in order to make it useful, you got to spend your ability points. But now that Lionizer's in the game, you can get that same ability out of any of your tank bots that you equip Lionizer to. And that has pretty much just made Snarl useless. Because now you can equip that same thing to a bot with more health, so it'll last longer and still get that Snarl-esque ability as part of your DPS. And then when the bot does die, you've still got another bot on the field. So I really liked Lionizer for that reason. I thought he solved a lot of issues with Snarl. And again, I use him for Zen farming, and once in a blue moon, if he's on a squad, I'll see if I can transform him real quick right before the base blows up, just so I can see him on his feet doing like this. But other than that,
I do have that 5-star on my alt account where my selection is much more limited, and I've got the Amalgamus on him, and I use him on my war squad just because he's beefy, and that ability will, especially against a combiner. My alt account, we wore like what is the league right below Prime? Cybertron.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
We wore like Cybertron a few times, and then Prime League, and usually we don't do well in Prime League, but we try.
Yeah.
And against those combiners, that Amalgamus core on Snarl, he can eat it up pretty good.
Gotcha.
But I wouldn't put him on my main account.
Yeah. But now I don't think raids have come out quite yet, had they? By batch 5, or were raids out by then?
I don't think so.
Because I know if they had come out by then, I know Perceptor would have been highly sought after out of this batch because he's fantastic for hacking those thunder towers and raids.
That's for people that like raids. Most people don't.
I like raids. I think it's not unfun. I enjoy a raid. I like seeing how much damage I can do.
I'll do the raids once every Cyber Pass round.
Yeah. Well, I use
how much I like them.
Well, I've got 5-star Optimus and Beast Wars Megatron now, so now every bit of Shanix I get, I put towards either Spark or Combat Spark. So I try to contribute as much as I can to get as much raid points as we can get, so I can get those Shanix and get that Spark, so I can level up combat bots and bot abilities. So it makes a difference.
Participate, but I just feel like it makes the game unnecessarily busy because it's not really that fun.
Yeah, I mean, most alliances knock it out in one day, though.
You're just whittling away at a base. Yeah, but look at all the other things you have to do now.
Yeah, I mean, the game is very, very busy. I mean, everybody was like, we want more stuff to do, but now we've got all kinds of stuff to do, and now we're like, the game's too busy.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. There are some times when I used to I used to joke at people like, how can you forget to charge up? That's the first thing I do every morning when I open up my game is I go in and I collect my free crystals and I make sure everything's charged or recharged and go about my day. But now it's like I don't have time to do it in the morning because you got to open it up, you got to collect your free crystals, you got to go through all the dispatch missions, you got to reassign bots, you got to check this and check that, and it's like, oh my gosh. I gotta wait till I'm sitting down with my coffee before I open this stuff up. It's like work.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just too many things you have to do. It's like, and you just got like a Monday to Thursday window to get them all in.
Yep.
Hey kid.
Oh, hello.
Say hi. They're recording this for the stream. All right, now go away. That's my middle child.
Oh yeah.
How old?
She is. Are you 17 now? Yeah, 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I still think, getting back to this, I think Warpath is still the bot to get out of this batch.
I agree with you. If I was to pull from this batch, he would be the first one I wanted. And most people are not big on RC, but I'd be happy to have RC because, again, we have that minion squad that Frankie and I run. And we use 4-star RC. So
the thing with Perceptor and RC is they both have had other bots come out that are like them but better. Like RC has Rook, Perceptor, Blades made Perceptor completely unnecessary.
Yeah,
because he hacks a whole area instead of one thing.
Yeah. Well, they gave Perceptor the passive ability that when you put him out on the field, after the defense bots have done their ability, they will be hacked. Similar to what happens when you have the, what's the name of that core? It does the exact same thing.
Liege Maximo?
Yeah. Is it Liege Maximo?
Yeah.
So, yeah, the Liege Maximo, they basically gave Perceptor the Liege Maximo core ability as a passive.
Yeah. So I think this is another bundle that has kind of lost a little bit of its luster with time, but Warpath he's still Warpath.
And again, getting back to depending on how you play, if you do, or if Russian Smash ever comes back to be prevalent again, having Rodimus on that team was a knockout blow. I mean, you get all your bots up in one area, and then you hit Rodimus's ability, and they all start over sparking. I mean, that could be deadly, but it's so hard to do that method anymore that not a lot of people use them.
It's still very useful when you run into those bases who have Blaster and Gnaw on defense, and if you have Rodimus with you, and you just press that button, and you just wipe out all those little pests. It's great. So, all right, on to batch 6.
Batch 6. I do not recall this one. Oh, it was this one.
First Aid, Hotspot, Sandstorm, Goldfire, and Rust Dust. And without a doubt, Goldfire was the bot to be had on this one.
Or First Aid.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that people were clamoring to get First Aid as much as they would have been Wheeljack and Ratchet. I mean, his ability was more unique, but his healing, I don't think, was on par with theirs. I don't think. Now, Hotspot would have been the one I wanted more than anything because his G1 core just made him so beefy. It's really hard to take him down. And at the time, he had the highest base health in the game. Now, that title now belongs to Pipes, Ironhide, and Trailbreaker. But at one time, it was Hotspot and Pyromagna that had the highest health in the game. And when they gave him that G1 core, you put that on him as his 5-star, and I mean, he'd be the last bot to go down every time.
Yeah, and then Goldfire became the hot thing to have because of the Goldfire sack on the bases with Vector Prime on him.
Yep.
He could just smash
a
for
a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when Goldfire came out and they said he was like a lesser powered Star Saber, and I was like, well, why would I want a lesser powered Star Saber with a smaller range?
Yeah.
Then I found out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Goldfire, you can do some damage with him.
Oh, yeah.
And to me, he would be the one out of this bundle. I mean, other than him, this bundle really doesn't, nothing about it speaks to me. I've never been big on Sandstorm or Rust Dust.
I'm still not big on Rust Dust. I do like Sandstorm, though, because his ability, first of all, it was a vast improvement over Springer. I like that his ability can be combined, similar to what most of our triple changers can do now. The healing plus the toxic, or the toxic plus the healing. the spread damage. I do like Sandstorm. I don't use him regularly, but I thought he was a good triple changer when he came out.
At the time he came out, he was good.
Yeah.
He was really powerful. He could take the place of a healer almost because of that healing ability.
Yeah, and then once he heals, you can immediately drop his Toxic and create damage and amplify your healing, which was a good... I mean, he was just a good bot. I remember Alpha Prime being disappointed that he got this guy as a 5-star. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's a great bot. He's like, yeah, that's not my style. So, which I say that a lot about other bots that people rant and rave about, so I didn't blame him for that.
Yeah, and again, it all goes back to your play style and level and all that stuff too. So.
Yeah. So, alrighty. Batch 7.
Batch 7. Gotta be... Oh, this is a pretty good one.
Oh yeah, Blades, Laser Optimus, Jetfire, Rhinox, and Smokescreen. I still can't believe they put Blades in this.
Yeah.
I can't believe they made him a 5-star. I just can't. Because he was.
You really can't go wrong with this one. No matter who you pull, you've got a good 5-star.
Yeah.
This was another batch that knocked it out of the ballpark.
It was for sure.
Still, yeah.
Yeah.
I think in today's game, I think Rhinox would probably be pick of the batch. Just because
I don't know. So many people use Laser Optimus.
Disagree. I have Laser Optimus as a staple on my war team, and not Rhinox. Now I know some people like Rhinox and use him as a sack bot.
Whatnot, especially with his
and
G1 core.
And his Transmetal core, whatever that is just ridiculously good.
Yeah.
But for me, I use Laser Optimus with Wheeljack every war attempt.
No, I don't blame you. Do you put a combat bot on him?
On Laser Optimus, I have Rat Trap.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people do that.
Yeah, that's a good one for him. Stripes would probably be a good one for him too, just to give Wheeljack a little bit of help keeping him healed up, depending on what level you're at.
Well, it's that stun immunity that you want. That's what saves him.
Yeah.
Whenever Chromia pops out, or whatever, you get in range of shock towers and your team gets frozen for a second.
Yeah.
He can keep firing and taking that stuff out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are all good bots. I mean, Smokescreen's the only one I couldn't see myself using regularly, but if for anybody who does, he's fantastic for taking out outpost bots.
You say that he just recently made his way onto my war team.
Well, it's
I've got him now with glitch on him because his range is ridiculous already.
Yeah.
So put him and Warpath are really the only two I'd put glitch on. But with glitch on him, he stays back generally by the healers, and he can just pick things off. And his price never increases. It's always 3 points per shot.
Yeah, he's got great DPS. I'm not taking anything away from that. But for his ability, I don't find a lot of use in it because most of the time when I launch an ability of another bot on that squad, it's with the intention of one-shotting it. So if I've been successful in one-shotting whatever it was, then I got no use for Smokescreen's ability.
Soundwave.
Oh, yeah,
when he appears and throws all the minions, and you can just snipe Soundwave, and all the minions are gone.
Yeah.
Very helpful. And some people are really good at picking off Scourge or Swoop, as they launch.
Before they take off?
I suck at that, yeah. I've tried. I can't get the timing right, but I've seen lots of other people have it down.
I've managed to pull it off one time. I saw Tigerhawk coming out, and all of my bots, they had managed to defeat all the defenses, but all of them were weak. And if Tigerhawk had made it into the air, I would have been screwed. And I just happened to have it was one of the squads where I have an air show. So I had one bot with that. I hadn't used his ability yet, and I managed to take him out right before he took off with an aerial bot. I think it was Firefly I used on him, and I was like, oh, thank God. So, but this was a good batch.
It's still a good batch.
Yeah,
no matter
for sure.
Even Blades, even with the new effects, all you have to do is identify the build bots with the anti-hack cores and take them out.
And just take them out first,
Blades.
Yeah, so this batch was amazing when it came out, and it's still amazing. So that's all the other ones have changed. This one stayed amazing. So
all right, so on to batch 8.
All right, we're getting there. This batch.
Yeah, this is the one you got the bot of choice first go around.
Yeah. This batch. I mean, I would say Sea Spray's has he always been the best one in this batch?
No,
When did he get his
Seaspray.
ability 11? Because to me, that would be when he would have been.
Yeah, when he got ability 11, that was the tipping point for him. Because for years that the Seaspray's been in the game, he received no love.
He was the worst. He was the original cheater of this batch.
Okay, so he didn't have the 11 by then.
I don't believe so, because I remember people being upset about him being in there, and like nobody used them. Why would we want him? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So because the 11 is the game changer with him. That's when he went from being
Bumblebee.
Yeah.
I still liked him even before that. Like I remember people ragging on him. They never liked him as a gunner, and I thought he was fine because he had spread damage on his DPS, similar to Skyburst, which I liked, and then his ability paired well with Warpath or Star Saber or another bot that did damage in a line. You pair him with any of those bots with Seaspray, and it would create just a solid line of damage, and you take the targets out all the way up to a point. I like if I can pair him with somebody to accomplish something. That's something that I like to do. Like I pair Hound and Warpath together to take out long distance bots that like Prowl or Alpha Bravo can't quite reach. And Seaspray is another one of those bots that would pair well with them.
Yeah, Rook's always been awesome. I don't ever remember a moment when he wasn't that hollow.
Oh yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's got a lot of health, blows up in everybody's face when it goes down. I like Rook. I'd like to have him on my minion squad. He's a good bot. Lots of health.
Impactor's amazing. I still only have a 3-star, but man, Impactor can do some damage.
That's another one you would put the Amalgamus Prime Core on. He's a great bot.
Amalgamus and ability 11 for sure.
And probably Rat Trap.
Yeah, wouldn't hurt.
Yep.
Yeah.
So and then Swoop. Yeah, he's very susceptible to anti-air, but if you just need a bot that can power level, at like zone 13 for bots that you're trying to level up, he's a great one for that.
Up to 12, he's extremely OP'd. From 13 and up, it really depends on how much anti-air they have.
Yeah, it just depends on
13 is zone 13. He starts getting a little dicey if the defense is set up right.
Yeah.
To me, he's just a great outpost spot with that ability 11. You put that on and it stuns him. I mean, that's why I was excited about him.
Oh, yeah.
Simply for that. I don't really, as far as main war goes, I don't use him. Sure, you can resource grind with him, Zen farming and stuff like that, and he's fine. But I wouldn't. Again, he's too squishy to put on a Prime League war squad because of all the anti-air and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, even where our Alliance War is at, which is what, Platinum?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Platinum, he dies like nobody's business even there. Even I have a maxed out G1 G Metal Core on him, and it barely extends his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's a good bot, and he was definitely OP'd when he was first introduced to the game. But
he was the first power leveling bot.
Yeah.
Yep.
People use power level other bots.
But if you got his 5-star, he could still be a great power leveling bot. But once you get to a certain level of war, and again, I'm not big on war. I've never really enjoyed it, but I know that once you get to a certain point, he'll die quicker than Grimlock if you give him a chance.
Yeah.
So.
Because he hangs in the air. That's the thing. It's because he stays airborne. And then Bumblebee can be amazing with the right setup. So
yeah, Grind Time proved that, or not Grind Time. I'm sorry, you're Grind Time. Waza,
it's like Grind Time proved that.
Yeah, Waza proved that to me beyond the shadow of a doubt when I was on his show. Long time ago, he put the flak on him with the Primacore. Oh my God, it was stupid devastating. I still don't do it. I should, but I still don't do it. It's just not my style. But anybody who's got Bumblebee, I'd be afraid.
Yep. All right. Well, so another great bundle.
Yep.
All right. So moving on to batch 9, and this batch. So there's Slash.
My favorite batch.
Yeah, but you didn't even want Slash. You wanted Pipes and Skylink.
I did, and I say it's my favorite batch sarcastically because I had to go through the whole freaking lineup before I got to the bots that I wanted.
Which most people, I feel like, were going for Slash and Brainstorm, whereas you were Pipes and Skylinks.
I was, but I'll be honest though, those are who I wanted. But when I got Red Alert and Slash, I was pleasantly surprised with how good of an addition they were to my 5-star squad, event grinding squad. Because Slash's ability is just super, super good and pairs well with Cheetor. And then Red Alert was actually surprisingly good for, that EMP resistance and that shield that he puts up. I was actually, and he pairs well with Optimus Primal on that squad. So I was pleasantly surprised with those two. Now, Brainstorm, I know what he can do. I just haven't done much with him. So
yeah. When this batch came out, I think Brainstorm was the one that I was excited about.
Absolutely.
Skylinks and Red Alert just didn't make any sense, and Red Alert was the vote of the people, I guess.
Yeah.
But they voted, and then they introduced the FFD cores for the build bots. Or is that the one?
Yeah.
Whichever one it is that neutralizes him came out after we voted for him.
Yeah.
And then Skylinks, the 5-star, really isn't. Like, whatever you can do with the 4-star, you can do with the 5-star. It's not really much of an improvement. And Pipes, nobody wanted, I don't think, at first. And then Brainstorm was the one I thought, okay, this one could be interesting. And that was the last one I got out of this batch. And I couldn't make it work. He's not as good as I thought. So I actually used Pipes more than I used any of the other bots out of this batch. I had the Liège core on him for a while, and I was running him on my main war team.
Yeah.
And because late in the battle, his ability was still cheap enough, you could zoom him up to mess up draw fire away from the rest of your squad or whatever.
Yep.
And he was beefy enough to absorb it, and then generally you could get your healer to him and heal him up, or get him back to the group in time to heal him back up.
Yeah.
So, but I ended up dropping him for Smokescreen recently.
I got you. Yeah, I was excited for this batch because of Pipes and Skylinks. I know a lot of people were like, well, why do you need a 5-star Skylinks when the 4-star does what you need him to do? For me, it's all about building more because I'm all about the event grinding of the game. I'm not big on war and PvP. I like now more than I used to, but it's the event grinding that's important to me. So I'm trying to put together like 10, 15 squads that I can just go boom, ba-boom, 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 because I'm not going to spend a bunch of money on fuel cells and cyber coins. So I need squads that are consistent in the zones they are in. So I prominently use 4-star Skylinks on my A squad. So 5-star Skylinks was an obvious choice to put on my A squad, and then bump 4-star Skylinks to the B squad, and then bump 3-star Skylinks to the C squad. So it was about creating more squads and creating a pattern that I knew and was familiar with. So it wasn't so jarring for me to go from, well, this is my air show squad, this is my gunner squad, this is my I don't know what these guys do squad, but they're beefy, so I'm just going to throw them out there. And then, like, trying to figure out, okay, crap, who's on this squad? What do I do? And that way it was consistent for me. Each squad almost does the same thing to a degree. And then as far as Pipes goes, I mean, highest base health in the game, and his ability is cheap. So I always run tank bots. At least 2 tank bots on each squad, so he was an obvious choice too. Slash and Red Alert were just icing on the cake that I wasn't expecting. Brainstorm,
I do not like this batch. I really don't. Like, I love Slash, but everybody else, I'm good without.
He was just sitting there waiting for us to shut up.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, I know like DJ's huge on Pipes and Skylinks, but I'm just like, I mean, Pipes is just one of many bots that are very tanky. I mean,
he's the tankiest.
Yeah, but by a small margin. I mean, to me, there's several bots you could use the same way you would use him. There's several that could take that kind of spot.
Oh, yeah.
Brainstorm, I've never been that big on. I don't like a bot where his ability is dependent upon another bot doing something for it to do what it does. And Red Alert, I just haven't had enough experience using because I don't have a decent one. And I've never got what the big deal about Skylinks is. I've tried and tried to use Skylinks and see what the people that love him love about him, and to me, he's always been underwhelming.
Yeah,
Well,
I
he's
agree.
got the range of an aerial bot, and that's what makes him useful to me. I very seldom use his toxic followed up with flame strike. I typically do it the other way around and just one shot
I
abilities.
want to like Skylinks. He's a cool bot in Transformers lore. I don't know. I've always been.
He's got the range of an aerial bot and the psychotic walking path of a dead bot. So that's always been my issue with him. And I'm not arguing for pipes at all. But the thing about pipes that kind of sets them apart, I think, from the other tanks is the cost.
Yeah.
His cost only goes up by like 1 every time you use it. Whereas the other tanks that you can do the same thing with, but you can't do it as much because they cost way more.
Yeah.
And that would be my one thing if I was gonna play devil's advocate and argue for pipes. There you go. He's not only the tankiest, even though it's by a slim margin, but he's so much cheaper.
Yeah. So, I can see that. I just rather go with Sludge because I know he can like devastate some walls to open a path for my people if I want to put a tanky bot on there.
Well, why would you do that? Just use nose cone.
I don't want nose cone.
Nobody wants nose cone.
I remember when I got
That's not true. Everybody wants them for the Computron.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, that's the only reason people want him. But once they've got him, he's like level 1, never getting leveled. He's just sitting there at the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
You got 1-star bots that have more bot power than he does.
I just think with the exception of Slash, I feel like the rest of this was kind of underwhelming. Like they could have split these bots into other bundles and it probably would have been better than having all these as one group together.
Yeah. Now, I don't
like them as a group.
Yeah. Now, as we got further along in the bundles, and I meant to point this out, but they started getting a little bit less diverse. For example, in this batch, we have 2 special bots. We have 1 aerial bot that's not really an aerial bot. And then we have Skylinks, which representing a triple changer, which was a good bot to put in this, I think, because you need a triple changer or something of the like in a batch to make it unique. But we don't have a gunner in this batch. We don't have a something akin to we got Dinobot in the most recent batch, but we didn't have like a bot that did minions because we'd already used them up at this point. I feel like there was less diversity as the 5-star batches went on. Because I like a batch where it's 1 aerial bot, 1 gunner, 1 tank, 1 special bot, and maybe 1 triple changer or another special bot if it's unique enough from the first special bot. Give us a variety. And the further the 5-star batches went, the less variety there was in each batch. And that's especially punctuated by batch 10, I believe. So, which we will see now.
Okay. Yes, we will. Let's get on to it. This is got to get past a lot of stuff to get to it.
All right, here we are.
This batch
6-gun Minerva, Shatterglass, Jetfire, Strafe, and Dinobot.
And I know that there's something about this bundle that I know, DJ, you're gonna rant about because I know it bugs you.
So we've got a couple of things about this batch that bug me. So the first thing is that we've got Shatterglass, Jetfire, and Minerva in this batch. Both of them good bots, but they're so new bots. And I get they were trying to make leaderboards more worth the grind, but I just don't think these bots deserve to be 5-stars when there's so many other bots that we would rather see become 5-star that have been in the game for years. So I would rather have seen 2 different bots here. I would rather have seen Star Saber. I would rather have seen Cup. Somebody else.
My biggest complaint with them putting Minerva and SG Jetfire in there is it killed our prediction videos, and I didn't even finish them because
it did. Yeah. So we had to. So. And then here's the best part, and I haven't gone back and rewatched yours since then, but I remember what my picks were, and not a one of them made it into this. And that's another thing about this batch. Nothing about this batch made sense for where we are in the game and for where everybody's predicting the game is going in the way of 5-star combiners, and then having a variety of bots in the batch. We have 2 aerial bots in this batch.
Strafe is part of a combiner.
Yeah. He's part of Computron, so they did get that going. But I was fully expecting...
remember if his Decepticon counterpart is, though.
It's thrust, and I don't think thrust is
I
part of
don't
a
think he
combiner.
is. So
Um,
one
but
step forward, one step back.
yeah, but we have two overpowered aerial bots in this batch. I mean, a lot of people don't like Strafe because he's in the air and he dies, but he's very much a Sentius Magnus type bot in the sky, and the shield he projects does protect him a little bit, and he's devastating in the right sir. I mean,
he is devastating. The problem is he'll land in the worst spot.
Yeah.
And especially if he's in a honeycomb or something, unless you've got A, the ability points to use, and B, a target that he can hit from where he's at, he's stuck.
Yeah,
he can sit there and shoot on walls until the end of the attack.
Well, that's why I put Fire Drive on him. I have 5-star Fire Drive on him. That helps him melt through that wall faster. That was part of that. Plus two, and I know a lot of people don't like him. I'm very fond of Fire Drive and Pinpointer because it just, if nothing else, increases the DPS of the aerial bots you're putting them on, melts through walls a little bit easier. I mean, and I can't think of anything else I'd rather do with aerial bots. I mean, I put flak on them, but I have a whole other set of bots with flak, so I like them for that reason. But then they gave us Dinobot as a 5-star, which I was thrilled about, and that essentially completes the minion squad in 5-star form, with the exception of maybe Huffer, who I use. And then 6-gun. I mean, I'm not upset to see 6-gun in this batch at all. But first of all, I just knew that we were going to get Slug, and we didn't. And then I just knew that we were going to get Trax, and we didn't. And I knew we were going to get Trax because Abominus needed Cutthroat to get evened out with Defensor, and we didn't get this. So those two are still uneven in terms of their 5-star bots. And then we didn't get an aerial bot, an actual aerial bot from Superion. We didn't get one of those, and I expected it to be air raid. I spent like a month mapping this out. Like, okay, here's what makes sense. And not one of my predictions I was like, nothing about this made sense to me.
I'll tell you, I thought they were going to drag it out because I'm thinking it's going to be sometime next year before they roll out 5-star combiners.
I like what you did
I figured they would find a way to drag it out somehow.
But
to me, they could have put Minerva and SG Jetfire, or at least one of them, in the Shannock store, and maybe dropped one of them in this batch. But
I mean,
I love that they're in it because they're such great bots.
I think they're the two best. Well, 6-gun is right up there with them. I mean, as far as being the best of the batch, Strafe and Dinobot are kind of take them or leave them. But but definitely those first three there in the line, those are the absolute best. And honestly, I think Minerva is the best in the batch. Her healing tower is just ridiculous. I don't know how many times in a war, like a non-tracked war, I don't take a combiner all the time. Sometimes I'm just throwing my squad in there and going. And if Lyokaiser Computron pops out and goes to hack my bots, I can just drop her tower in the middle of my bots, and they'll stay healed during that hack time, and then keep going.
Yeah.
So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time it does. So she is ridiculously good.
Yeah, she's a great bot, and I'm not taking anything away from her. I mean, I even said when she was introduced that she's probably one of the best healer in the game now. But I just don't think that her or Jetfire deserve to be made 5-star bots so early on in their existence when there's so many other bots that we've been waiting for. I would have gave these two a year, and I wouldn't have put them in there together either. I'd, give them maybe do one batch 11, the other one in batch 12.
Or at least maybe make the batch bigger since you got the two new bots. So we're getting the same number of older bots getting 5-stars. Do something. Because it just kind of, when you add 2/5 of a bundle as brand new bots, all the bots that have been kind of in line to get a 5-star get bumped that much further down the road.
Yeah.
And with the new bot coming next week, being a 5-star too, that means the next batch is probably going to be just like this one.
I think a big reason for that is the new 5-stars. In order to make them, things that people really want, they have to be up to par with the standards in the game now. And a lot of those older bots, they would have to be retuned.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
in order to make them, in order to make the top teams, the guys,
There's
would want them. I mean, those are the spenders, and unfortunately, it takes money to keep the game going, even if you're free to play, which is fine. You don't get mad at the guys that spend, because those are the guys keeping the game around. Because if the game quits making money, it goes away.
Yeah.
So don't get mad. Just understand, if you choose not to, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't get mad at the guys that do.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the reasons why these bots. These are two fantastic bots. It's been a while. Since they really hit it out of the park with new bots, and these two, I think, both did.
Yeah. Jetfire, Shatterglass Jetfire, I love that bot. That's why he was the one I wanted out of this bundle, because I only had his 3-star, and his 3-star I was using in like zones 13 and 14, and half the time he'd be with nothing but 4 stars on events and will be the last spot standing as a 3-star.
Yeah. And what's funny is there was a quick turnaround in his public opinion between the time he was introduced to where we're at now. Because when he was introduced, everybody was like, screw this.
It was
bot.
all over the place with how they were adjusting him.
I can't say it was a fiasco. Let's say that. There was lots of shenanigans going on. And I actually remember him specifically because I was on my my wedding moon during that, and I was trying to hit the event from Jamaica, which was dicey.
I remember that live stream.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So they just kept changing everything. It was up, it was down, it was here, it was there, and even like right up to release. It's like, what we should know by now what bot we're spending money to try to earn,
They changed him like during that weekend, didn't they?
After the event started.
Yeah.
And I was
crazy.
All kinds of upset because first, when he was first introduced and he was being tested, and the play testers were able to reveal what they learned about him, the first thing was ability's too expensive. Ability's too expensive and still won't one-shot MDS and Prime League hard, which I wasn't really concerned about the Prime League hard, not one-shot MDSs, because I'm not in Prime League hard. I got no plans to be. So that didn't bother me. What bothered me was how bloody expensive his ability was for something that it's not that different from any other one-shotter except for Kretzel's air hollows. And, that's the same thing. That creates the same benefit of Jetfire Sky Striker in that he turns invisible to anti-air. He just creates distractions. And it accomplishes the same thing. But Sky Striker is only, 5+2. And then this guy was, 5+4. And I think that's what they brought him back to.
Yeah.
But initially they had brought him down to 6+2, which I was okay with.
Yeah.
But then they bumped it back up. And I was like, nope, absolutely not. And to me, it's still too expensive.
The difference between him and Sky Striker Jetfire is his ability. Those drones, they won't just draw fire from him. They'll draw fire away from your other aerial bots as they're attacking.
Yeah, that's true.
As long as those drones are out there, like you could send Strafe out then, and he wouldn't be taking the hits until the drones are gone.
Yeah, it's true. It has really opened it up to where air shows could easily be brought back into the meta because now they're not going to get shot down thanks to those drones.
The only problem is he's still a little bit after the first couple strikes. He gets expensive. So
right,
yeah, but also just his basic health and DPS, I think, is much higher than the other. I have him on my war squad, and honestly, I target the I target the build bots that stop sea spray. That's what I target with them, and I'll use them once, maybe twice during an attack, maybe.
Yeah.
Other than that, he's just there to sit there and chew up the defenses with the gun. That's all. Yeah. That's all I use him for, and he's great at that.
What combat bot do you put on him?
I've got flak, I believe. Let me double check real quick.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I got 5-star flak on him.
There you go. Yeah, but I don't know. I like all of these bots. I do. I just don't think that what bots we got made sense for, the future of the game and what direction everybody's predicting we're going in. And again, these two should have waited until at least batch 11. You know?
Well, here's my thoughts on why we got this batch. The two new ones, Minerva and SG Jetfire, they had just got done balancing and making relevant for the current meta.
Yeah.
And they were good, bots. Credit where credit's due. They did really well on those.
They very much did.
Strafe, and Dinobot didn't need much adjusting.
No.
That's true.
They were easy just to kind of crank up and churn out, and I think that's why we got them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I was excited for him. At first my thought was this batch makes no sense. None of the bots I predicted are on here. How in the world? How was I that far off? But then I saw what bats they were. I was like, well, I can use every one of these. So I had thought maybe I'll pull from this one on my next 5-star bot. But then I realized that Minerva's on here, and he's best healer in the game. And for people who are at that level, go for it. I don't run healers. Never have. Don't plan to anytime soon.
She would be your first pull.
She would be. So that's why I'm going to batch 1. So my next pull is going to be from batch 1, and I'm crossing my fingers for Silverbolt.
See, my thing was I'm going to keep pulling from this one until I get Jetfire, and then first one, like, well, now what do I do?
Go for Minerva.
Yeah, I wanted Minerva too, because I said on my video, on my Crystal Crack, when I did, I'm like, I want Jetfire or Minerva. And I was like, nobody else would be bad, but those are the main two that I'm going for. And so I may go for her next. I may do it, have a second 5-star healer.
Yeah. I think Dinobot might be really good on defense.
He would.
I haven't pulled him yet, but I think he'd probably be really good on defense. That's probably the only time I'd really use him.
Well, so Frankie and I both do this, and you give it a shot and tell me what you think. I mean, this would never be a war squad, but it's fun on event grinding. And that's take all of your bots that create some sort of a hollow or a minion.
Yeah.
So all of them, put them together in one squad. You don't even have to level them up that high. All of mine are level 50, and their abilities are probably between 1 and 5. It's mass chaos.
I've ran a team like that before for...
it's fun.
For giggles. And it's fun,
and
I do crazy teams class. Like that all the time.
Like mine are supposed to be in zone 12. They hit zone 13 without breaking a sweat. Yeah, it's fun. So
all right, so that is all the 5 stars and kind of how it evolved. It's interesting the earlier bundles, how the bot people wanted when it came out versus the best one to get now.
Yeah,
as some of them it completely flipped.
Yeah.
So, and now, of course, with the newer bundles, we're getting newer bots in the game, which is different. So they're great bots, like Grind Time said. So you can't really complain. It's just I'm still waiting for Cup and even Cynthius Magnus. I would love a 5-star of him.
Yeah.
Maybe one of these days.
I'm waiting for now that Strafe is in there. I'm like, heck, all right. Now I'm just waiting on Storm Clash and Skydive. You know. And that'll be every bot on my A squad in 5-star variety. Well, that and Cybertron Jetfire.
Yeah. So there's possibilities. It's just now there'll only be 3 older bots a bundle is what it's looking like it's going to be going forward. So it'll make those older bots mean more when we get them, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to sound awful, but I don't know if Space Ape is that organized to plan that far ahead. I don't know if they know what they're doing yet. A lot of it seems to be fly by the seat of your pants, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No.
But and I also think we will see a ramp up in the release of 5-star batches.
Yeah.
Especially if they're one new combiners where you have to have all parts of that combiner as a 5-star in order to make it a 5-star. I think they have no choice but to ramp up production of some of these 5-star batches.
Yeah, and I'm nowhere close to any of them. I think I might have 1 per combiner, from some of the older ones. That's about it. So
it's going to be tough if that's the requirement. It's going to be tough on most people to get them, which I guess they want to make them a rarity, and that would certainly do it.
Yeah, well, it's because, and they've said themselves, they don't want the game to be predicated on the 5-star bots, and
it already is predicated on 5-star bots and a 5-star combiner.
Well, that's what I meant, the combiner.
Anybody that wars in Prime League, you take Omega Supreme if you want to make sure you got a chance to. I mean, unless you're again, going against an alliance that you know you should dominate.
Yeah.
If it's a serious top 5 alliance war, it's Omega Supreme.
Yeah,
all
and
day.
that's the only. I only have 2 combiners that are maxed out. Omega Supreme at level 25, because when I realized I put everything I could into him. And with 75 fuel cells, thanks to Cyber Pass, he'll take out half a dozen bases by himself if you're event grinding, which is what I use him for. And then you can use the squad you've got to finish it out. It's perfect. And then right behind him, I've got level 20 Superion, and that's just because it was the first combiner I got, and I know how to use him. So, but Magnaboss is quickly.
Yeah.
I'm leveling all my other combiners evenly now. So, like, all of them are like at level 10 right now, about to be worked up to level 11. Takes about a week apiece. Because I don't know who the next 5-star combiner will be, so I don't want to level up Magnaboss to 20 and then all of a sudden, it's going to be Volcanicus. Oh,
let me just say, especially for your event leveling, a 4-star Magnaboss level 20 is only behind Omega Supreme because it doesn't have a 5-star ability.
Yeah,
like it is devastating.
Yeah, I love watching.
Even then though, from what I've seen with him, like his 5-star Omega and my maxed out 4-star Magnaboss can solo the same strength base. Like the base that my Magnaboss can't solo, his Omega can't either.
Yep.
So it's.
Well, if it's an HQ-17, no combiner can take that out.
Yeah.
No combiner can.
Yeah, because once it gets there, it's just that the health on that is too. I've tried so many times. I've had it where they had an HQ-17 out by its lonesome, as a gift during an event, and I'd launched Mega Supreme, tried to take it out by itself. nothing shooting at me. Can't do it. Too much health.
Yeah. But Magnaboss is incredibly powerful. He really is.
Powerful,
yeah.
Him and Omega are the only 2 4-star combiners I have. I max them both out.
Yeah. They're both worth the investment by a long shot. I think probably Computron's the next one, just because it's the hack and you want to have that on defense. Then
I like Computron a lot.
Behind Computron would be Defensor, and then everyone else is just garbage compared to them.
Yeah, I mean, it's useful to have them if you're still.
It's useful.
If for no other reason, if you're trying to punch like one zone above your weight class, any of those combiners, at level 10 or above, can get you there. If for no other reason, have them for that.
As far as grinding and stuff like that, you can make any of them useful for sure. Just find the right zone and go. But as far as wars and serious wars go,
Omega.
It's only Omega, and then sometimes you'll see on the first base or two some guys will use Magnaboss, but 98% of the time it's going to be Omega Supreme.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I gotta save up and get that 5-star. I just hate sacrificing 5-star boss to.
I did it on my alt account and it hurt. It hurt so bad. I did it.
I started saving 5-star shards not too awful long before the 5-year anniversary event.
Oh, you got lucky.
And I started because I knew it was coming. The theory was out there that that's what it was going to cost, so I started saving them shortly before that, and then it was announced, and I was like, yep, I thought so. So I just kept saving them, refused to use them until I got to that 5-star Omega part, and I pulled the trigger on it.
Yeah.
Of course, I had to wait a few weeks later than I was supposed to because I had a bug. They had to fix it, and I'm sitting here like, is it ready yet? I'm ready to do this. I've got the shards. Is it ready? That was a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
But it was worth the investment. I was very glad that I did it. So, and I keep telling everybody, definitely do it.
Yep. All right, I'll say this has been about long enough for this episode. Extended episode 30 of the podcast.
Hey, it was a big one, man. We had
30th episode. We got matching shirts.
Yep. We've got the blingage now. Well,
yep.
I didn't get mine.
No.
Hey, that's still a cool shirt though.
I'll get you one in the mail. It'll just say guest, right?
There you go.
There you go. All right, but so it was a fun video. Make sure you watch a Grind Time stream Sunday afternoons, right?
Right now, that's when it is.
I usually catch it like a day or two later because I'm usually busy, but I usually do watch it just late.
I'll try to get in there.
Moving it to a weekday, but I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, I'll try to get in there and just make sure everybody knows to be looking for the giveaway.
Yeah, so definitely everybody check out Grind Time, and don't miss DJ's Crystal Kraken. He does them on Wednesdays now, right?
It depends on the event. This is the 10,000
This one you
point
should be able
event.
to get
This one will
done.
be Monday, but if it's
Yeah.
an Alliance Totalizer and they're still grinding it out when I crash out on Sunday night, it's going to be Wednesday before I post it.
Yeah, mine will probably be up on Sunday because this is a quick, easy event this weekend. So definitely look out for that, and definitely check back here next week, and we will see y'all then. Same bot time, same bot channel. Frankster out.